Now, everyone will tell you they've got the secret to barbecuing the perfect steak. I'm gonna show you my method to cook a foolproof, perfect steak every single time on your Ziegler and Brown Turbo. Now, first, I'm gonna fire up my Ziggy Turbo and preheat for a good 10 minutes with the hood closed. Now, one of the great things about your Ziggy Turbo is its flamethrower ignition system. Means it lights first time, every time. The Ziggy Turbo combines conducted heat from the stainless steel grill itself together with radiant heat from the RQT burners, which stands for Radiant Quartz Technology. Now, the really big plus for using RQT burners is that it keeps cooked food moist, seared on the outside, but succulent and juicy on the inside. These unique quartz domes can handle the fattiest cuts of meat while giving you the control to minimize flare-ups. Now, keep the burners on high because you'll want a super hot grill for a perfect steak. The hotter the grill, the better the crust on your steak, the better the caramelizing and barbecued flavor. When barbecuing, all the juices and fats drip down onto these quartz domes at very high temperatures and are vaporized, adding to the flavors of what you're barbecuing. Now, your turbo has got loads of power, so there's no need to warm the steaks to room temperature like some methods would suggest. Just cook them straight from the fridge. It's safer and it's more hygienic too. Now, preparation for these guys, really, really simple. Just brush olive oil over one side and then the other. And then with seasoning, just go simple. Salt, and go for the cracked black pepper. Once again, you're gonna do it on both sides, and that'll make them perfect. No need for anything else at all. Just let the flavor of the meat speak for itself. Now, the turbo is powerful enough to cook with the hood open or closed, but for me, cooking with a closed hood is better. This, coupled with the double skin firebox, retains heat and helps to better sear the steaks and to lock in flavor and moisture. Now, this grill is really hot, so, whew, on with the steaks and let's get cooking. But do remember this, once they're on, you gotta make sure that you leave them alone. Now, you might be tempted to prod and poke them, but don't do it. When you do it, you're just gonna lose moisture of your steak. I'm gonna cook these guys for around about 3 to 4 minutes each. As a guide, a 2.5 centimeter thick steak needs around about 4 minutes per side. But if you're cooking a thick fillet or T-bone steak, it's more like 5 minutes each side. Now, I like to use this cool little Ziegler and Brown digital meat thermometer. It takes all the guesswork out of it and tells me exactly when my steaks are ready. Our medium rare steak should sit at around about 57 degrees Celsius. Okay, it's been a little over 3 minutes. Temperature is good, so it's time to turn the steak over for another 3 minutes. Let's have a look. Oh, they're beautiful. Now look at that. See all that fantastic caramelizing where the grill marks are? The sure sign of a really hot grill and a great steak on the way. Now, here's a great tip. When you turn the steak, place the uncooked side on a new part of the grill because this unused grill will be a bit hotter than when you've just been cooking. Great for just that extra bit of searing. When the steaks are cooked, transfer them directly into a tight foil wrap and let them rest. Now, as a general guide, rest your meat for about half the time it takes to cook it. Now, I like to do this on the convenient warming rack, keeping the steaks warm, but preventing them from cooking any further. And there we go. Now, resting the steak relaxes the meat, making it more tender to eat. All the juices that are in the center of the steak will make their way out to the surface to ensure that the steak is moist throughout. Now, let's see how it looks. Oh, look at that. Perfect medium rare, just the way I like it. So here are my tips for barbecuing steak. First of all, always preheat. Make sure your Ziggy Turbo gets nice and hot and it stays hot. Second, and this is important, leave your steaks alone. The more you turn and move them, the more moisture they will lose. And finally, always rest your meat for a super juicy steak. So, What are you waiting for? Come on, fire up the Ziggy Turbo and barbecue yourself the perfect steak.